Ladies and gents, boys and girls, welcome in. Friday, January the 30th, 2026, as we get ready to embark on yet another weekend. I am Chris Phillips. This is the Chris Phillips Show. We welcome you in. Got a jam-packed show today. Lots to get into for the next hour or so as, again, we get the weekend kickoff. Having ourselves a time, shooting the shit, having some fun, talking that talk. Either way, guys, really appreciate you all. By the way, the final Chris Phillips show of the month of January and the final, I believe, show presented to you by SEC Unfiltered in the month of January. So let's close out the month in style, guys. As always, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button on YouTube. Check us out wherever you get your podcasts, all across your favorite social media platforms, as well as our website, secunfiltered.com. And as always, we are presented by our friends over at Underdog. Download the Underdog app. Use the promo code SECU to score $75 in bonus entries when you play your first $5. Once again, that's our friends at Underdog. Promo code SECU to get $75 in bonus entries today. We've also got some very fun things planned with our friends at Underdog next week because, of course, next week, guys, it is Super Bowl week, so we're going to be doing some different things, some higher, some lowers, going to be placing some wagers, if you will. Again, going to be doing some fun one-off segments specifically here on the Chris Phillips Show to promote and endorse and get in on the action with our friends over at Underdog, as you should as well. Once again, I am Chris Phillips. It is Friday, January the 30th, 2026, and this is the Chris Phillips Show. Appreciate you all tuning in. Got a jam-packed show, lots to get into, guys. Love to take your questions and comments as well. We've already got a question coming in. Guy says, how you feeling about Lamont Paris, the quarter zip? South Carolina men's athletics is in a horrendous state of affairs, my friend, because it is lather, rinse, repeat. It is just bad coach after disappointment after... Yeah, the men's athletics programs are a nightmare. I think Lamont Paris probably should be fired. You can't lose the amount of games they've lost by 30-plus points and 40-plus points. And you just can't put together as bad a season as they have on a consistent basis and keep your job. So, but again, for South Carolina basketball, men's basketball specifically, where do you go? I mean, what is the commitment to winning when it comes to South Carolina men's basketball? How much do Gamecock fans really care about men's basketball? I think you should probably allocate those resources to baseball and get the baseball program back on track. But, yeah, it's a mess. I mean, it's a mess. I got to be totally honest with you, man. And I appreciate the comment. And this isn't where I was planning on starting the show, but since you brought it up, for those that don't know, obviously, I used to – SEC Unfiltered used to be a South Carolina Gamecocks entity before we rebranded and relaunched in December of 2023. There's a lot of reasons why that was the best decision I've ever made in my entire life. But, man, sometimes I do think to myself, and I don't say this like in any – I say this to say this. I'm not trying to take a shot here, rub salt in the wound, nothing of the sort. Sometimes I do think to myself, man, what would it be like right now? Like, I feel for the people that cover South Carolina athletics full-time because, man, I mean, dude, listen, when you cover one team, you are at the mercy of how that team performs. You just are. Like, I don't think that's breaking news, right? So, if you're covering a team that's winning, buddy, you're going to have a lot of fun. And a lot of the banter and the message is going to be, it's going to be cheerful and happy and quote unquote positive, what have you, because I say that quote unquote, because I think that sports banter and sports takes aren't really positive or negative. They just are what they are. I don't think you're being negative or even being positive. It just is what it is, but it'll certainly be labeled as negative. But if all you have to talk about is a losing product, I mean, how you can only put lipstick on a pig so much until your audience turns against you because you're a sunshine pumper. And I don't think anybody really wants to follow a sunshine pumper, although on the contrary, On the contrary, I do think a lot of fans just want to be told what they want to hear. And I think there's some people out there in this media space that have created businesses off that. I really do. So again, we'll get more in that in a second. Again, that's not where I expected to start, but our guy asking the question about South Carolina just kind of took me down that path. Guys, we do have a jam-packed show, lots to get into. Really excited to chat with you guys. A couple quick housekeeping items here before we get going. Really excited, guys. All of our shows are up and running, rocking and rolling. I'm still working on the podcast feeds. I do apologize, guys, for the delay on that. It's just Simplecast has just taken forever. They're just taking their sweet time. So in the meantime, if you are already subscribed to the SEC Unfiltered podcast feed, stay there. We'll continue to distribute shows through that channel. If you're not, make sure you head over to iTunes, Spotify, wherever. Make sure you subscribe to SEC Unfiltered. All the audio, everything we do is going to be there. But as soon as we get these podcast feeds up, I will let you guys know. The Chris Phillips Show, Glue Guys, SECT, The Layup Line, Chewing Clock, they will all be on their own separate podcast feeds. Again, I will let you know the moment that launches. I am really, really hoping by next week, because Glue Guys gets going on Monday. Officially, episode 1 of Glue Guys, our brand new college baseball show, will get rocking and rolling every Monday and Thursday at 11 a.m. Central is when you can expect that show. Really excited to get it going. My guy, Anthony Renato, my brand new co-host. It is a new era for us when it comes to college baseball and SEC baseball coverage and our SEC baseball show. Not necessarily reinventing the wheel. Not a ton is changing. More on that on Monday. Monday will sort of be an introductory episode, and we've also got a really awesome conversation with Kyle Peterson that we will air on that show as well. But, yeah, really pumped for that to get going, guys. And, heck, once we start going on Monday, Glue Guys will operate from next Monday all the way until the College World Series comes to an end, or the SEC's run in Omaha, if you will, comes to an end. So I'm super stoked. Obviously, you guys all probably know I'm a huge baseball guy. I'm a baseball guy to the core. And so really, really excited to get our baseball content up and running, and really excited to be chatting with you all here on this Friday, January the 30th. Like I mentioned, the Chris Phillips Show every Tuesday and Friday at 1 o'clock Central. Yeah, I mean, again, back to what our guy in the comments here. Let me zoom in on this so I can actually read what the username is here. Mistad333, Mistad333, I believe it is. Yeah, listen, covering one team when the team's not good is not a fun feeling. It is not a fun feeling. I've been there. I've done that. It is brutal. It is absolutely brutal. So I feel for those folks. It's funny though. It's after spending 6, almost 7 full years in that space, there's not a lot. I don't talk to anybody in that South Carolina space anymore, to a point to where we are doing team previews for baseball. I don't think there's anyone in that South Carolina space who covers baseball or really covers the Gamecocks in general. I don't think there's any of them that would be willing to come on the show. And there's really not many of them that I'd want to have on the show. So, yeah, we could spend multiple episodes talking about that journey and why we pivoted and what we did. And it was a crazy, crazy, crazy time. I tell people all the time I'm having 1,000 times more fun, and I deal with 1/1000th of the headache that I used to. Y'all would be stunned. Y'all would be stunned if you knew what my life was like on a day in, day out basis covering South Carolina. You'd be stunned. I mean, you just would be stunned. My guy John Rice, what's going on, man? Good to see you in here. My guy Sandman's up in here as well, guys. We are taking your questions, your comments. William T says, Roll Tide. William, what's up, man? Appreciate you all tuning in. Really, really excited to have y'all in here on a Friday, hanging out, kicking it, having ourselves a good time. Again, jam-packed show. Without further ado, guys, let's go ahead and get into it. Again, while I was brainstorming and thinking about different topics today, and again, anything y'all want to interject, that's the beauty of this show. There is a reason that when I titled this show, it's just the Chris Phillips Show episode whatever. I thought about putting like specific topics in the title, but I really just want to keep it wide open. You know what I mean? Like, this show is meant to be This is just a spoken word, open session, hour or so. I'm going to have topics that we get into, but I'd love for this show to go whichever way it goes. You know what I mean? Just go with the flow and, do our thing with it. But without further ado, there is a segment I want to get into, and this is one that I've been brainstorming for quite a while. You can essentially expect, guys, on every show, we are going to do some sort of top 5 something, because people, we love to power rank things, right? Like everybody loves to power rank things and compare and contrast. And there's a lot of things that I've seen that I've done traveling across the SEC that we could power rank. So if you don't mind, guys, this segment, I want to do a segment brought to you by our friends over at Outlaw Light Beer. Outlaw Light Beer, the best light beer in the world. This beer is phenomenal. So we're going to crack ourselves an Outlaw Light. Cheers to you all. This segment brought to you by Outlaw Light. Top 5 bars in the SEC. Top 5 bars. There's a ton of good ones. I mean, a ton of them. There's some elite bars in this conference, and there's some that probably did not make this list that I just have not been to, have not visited, and I would love your suggestions. I would love your comments on it. But these folks, these are my top 5 bars in the SEC. At number 5, this bar has as much character as any bar I've visited in the conference. It's one sort of off the beaten path. It's one that I don't know without the guidance of people in Norman, Oklahoma, I ever would have gotten to. But Step Brothers, and apparently the story is that the brothers, the original Brothers location used to be, I think, either on campus or right off campus. It got shut down, closed down, something happened, and Step Brothers was open. Guys, you go in there, and it's like you're transported into a different dimension. It feels like you're transported to like the 80s, because you've got all like the Oklahoma lore that's hanging up in this bar, all the old articles and the great players and different art and drawings. And I mean, listen, it's a hole in the wall. It's as dive bar gets. But that's one of the things that makes it really special. I love my time in Norman, and I love my time hanging out at Step Brothers. And number 4, I've got Ivar's in Baton Rouge. Ivar's is just one of those staples, man. You've got the indoor, you've got the outdoor, you've got the styrofoam cups, you've got all the LSU stuff everywhere. It's one of my favorite places in the SEC. I mean, really, truly. It's one of my favorite bars in the SEC. It's always a good time when you go there. The setup is great. You got the pool tables. You've got the touch tunes. You got everything you want in this bar. One of the popping spots in Baton Rouge. Ivar's absolutely a top 5 in the SEC for me. Number 3, I'm going Sky Bar in Auburn, Alabama. Sky Bar is one of those bars. It's just one of those spectacles that you have to go see. When you're talking bars in the SEC, you cannot leave Sky Bar off of the list. You cannot do it. Massive venue. If you've never been, obviously, it is a spectacle amongst itself. You got a huge dance floor with the stage. You've got the kind of the other room, if you will. Forgive me. The last time I was there, it was a little bit fuzzy. But you've got kind of the other room. It's right there in the heart of campus. That place stays jam-packed, popping, tons of fun. It is the go-to spot in Auburn. It really is. And one of the go-to spots in the SEC. Sky Bar comes in number 3 for me. Number 2, this is one, again, Mizzou doesn't get the love and appreciation they deserve in any capacity. And I think that's the case for the bar scene as well. Number 2 for me, I'm going Harpo's in Columbia, Missouri. I'll tell you this. There's a couple bars in Como that I could have put in this top 5. Harpo's was the one I enjoyed the most, though, guys. They have the signature drink and the signature cups there at Harpo's. I was able to go up on the weather was great, went on the balcony overlooking downtown. You got all the Mizzou memorabilia downstairs. Just a classic college bar right in the heart of downtown, man. Harpo's is one of those staples, one of those signature places you have to visit. Comes in at number 2 for me. And at number 1, guys, if you've been paying attention, this one's not going to be any surprise. Because at number 1, I've got Innisfree in Tuscaloosa, Alabama. Back-to-back winners of Best Bar for the SEC Unfiltered Tour. These guys do an incredible job. The setup of the bar, it's everything you want in a college bar. It's everything you want in an SEC bar. The food menu, by the way, very, very slept on. I'm always getting a JT wrap when I go in there. Who doesn't love an Irish pub when done correctly? Who doesn't love an Irish pub? You've got the indoor, you've got like the half indoor, outdoor, you got the patio. Bartenders are amazing. The owners are incredible. Shout out to my guys, Trip and Sneed, who do a phenomenal job with that place. Innisfree is, it's going to be tough to top in the years to come. I'm sure there's going to come a point on the SEC Unfiltered Tour where someone dethrones Innisfree as the best bar in the SEC. But if they do, it's going to take a lot because Innis is, it's a one of one. And the only question when it comes to Innisfree is, did you get in for the free? Innisfree is my number one, guys, and there is a gap between one and the rest of the list. So once again, number 5, I got Step Brothers in Norman. 4, I got Ivar's in Baton Rouge. 3, I've got Sky Bar in Auburn. 2, I've got Harpo's in Como. And number 1, I've got Innisfree in Tuscaloosa. And again, there's probably many that I missed, guys. There's an honorable mention list a mile long, but those are my top 5 personally that I have been to that I just thoroughly enjoy. I really, really enjoy all 5 of those bars. My guy Cruz is in the chat. Just got to see the comment. Top 5 times I take a shot of Rumpel. Cruz, that's just any time ever, really, truly. Yeah. Instead of top 5 bourbons, we'll go top 5. Really, you know what? Top 5 shots would be a good topic. Top 5 shots would be a good one. But yeah, no, Innis is a one of one, man. Innis is a one of one. Hell, I mean, you could throw Galettes in the top 5. You really could. You could throw Galettes in there in Tuscaloosa. You could throw Jake's in Columbia, South Carolina, I think is a staple bar. You could throw, heck, I thought about throwing Dirty Bill's in Austin, but is that really, I don't know that that's really an SEC bar. That's one of my favorite bars in Austin, though. You know, like for Vandy, like people will say like Midtown is the Vandy bars, like Odie's or Losers. I'm like, that feels kind of like cheating, but I guess so. You notice I didn't throw any bars from Nashville or Austin in the mix. It's really just because, again, guys, like I don't consider Odie's or Losers a Vandy bar. It's a Midtown bar, and Vandy people go there, and I think they would consider it a Vandy bar, but I can't consider it a Vandy bar. So there's others as well. There's so many others, guys. So many others, but yeah. Now my brain, the gears are turning. There's a lot of potential here for this top 5 list. We can go top 5 streets in the SEC: 6th Street, Dixon Street, Broadway, God, whatever street it is that Ivar's is off of, Uncle Earl's, all that stuff. There's others as well. But anyways, guys, those are my top 5 bars. Love them, hate them, whatever. Let me know your thoughts. Let's see. Yeah, it was good running into you at the Tennessee game as well, my friend. Mr. D 333. Mars Standing had a question: how many more blowouts does South Carolina men's basketball coach need before he gets fired? That's a great question. I think Lamont Paris and Matt McMahon over at LSU are probably in their final days. I'd have to imagine. David Barnes, what are your thoughts on Carolina switching to Nike? Think the unis are going to change or just the logo? Wouldn't mind seeing the 06 or 09 uni style come back. I think Nike's definitely going to revamp the uniforms. I think they're absolutely. I don't think you take over as the sponsor and not revamp the unis and put your own staple or put your own spin on it, if you will. David says, how'd you like Sky Bar at Auburn? It was fun. I think Sky Bar is a really good time. It's just like when you get those bars that are like that massive, you know what I mean? Like it almost makes the top 5 because of sheer size alone. It just, you know what I mean? It's in its own category almost. You know what I mean? It's in its own category. So yeah, Sky Bar is an awesome place. Really, really thoroughly enjoy it. Really thoroughly enjoy it. So let's see. Spur your enthusiasm. It's my birthday. Fire Lamont Paris. Yeah, South Carolina and LSU, ironically enough, play each other tomorrow. Whoever loses that one is really going to be ready to fire their coach. Fun stuff, guys, next week, by the way. It's going to be a fun week next week, not only because Glue Guys gets going and because, be the first time I've done the Chris Phillips show and really all our other shows from a remote location, because I will be remote next week. I will not be in studio. I will be on the ski slopes, taking advantage of really trying to squeeze in one final ski trip before baseball season gets going. No, I'm not taking the week off from content. But again, I was like, you know what? It's freezing cold here in Nashville. It's freezing cold in the ski slopes. Let me get in one more trip. So Sunday through Friday of next week. Yeah, it's a long trip. Sunday through Friday of next week, I will be on the road, heading back on Friday, but again, departing on Sunday of this weekend. Going to spend some time shredding the mountain. So looking forward to it. Yeah, really excited to get back. I love to ski, man. I truly love it. I love to ski. It's funny. I went skiing back when I was, I probably 12 or 13 years old. And then I didn't go again until I was 31, 32. Yeah, 32. And it was kind of like riding a bike, and it's challenging enough where it's a challenge, but it was like the more I went, the better I got, to a point where I even bought my own skis. And now here we are. I try to go at least 2 or 3 times a season. This will be my second time going. So I will be on the ski slopes next week. We're going to get it in, have ourselves a really, really good time. I am Team 2 Twigs, by the way. I am not a boarder. I am a skier. That's just what I got started doing, and I'm not trying to learn that new skill anytime soon. I'll tell you this, man. I don't obviously have any kids. I'm sure there's some of you out there that do. It is really wise to get your kids into hobbies like that at a young age, because, as an adult, like I'm talking stuff like golf, like skiing, sports that really, really take skill, right? Like as an adult, you really don't have time or patience or money that you're willing to invest in these things. Like, for example, skiing's the same way, but I'll use golf, getting good at golf. I got a lot of buddies that want to play golf. They want to get good at golf, what have you. And it's just, dude, it takes time, it takes patience, and it takes money. And those 3 things, not even in that particular order, those 3 things are just valuable assets, especially the older you get. And so people don't want to invest that. It's like, well, then I guess you just won't be, it just is what it is. But it takes those things. As a child, as a kid, you don't have as much, you're not as hard-headed. You are willing to learn. You can be molded, if you will. So yeah, definitely get it. I'm very grateful I got into that stuff. I picked up a golf club when I was 3 years old, went skiing, like I said, when I was a teenager. I'm very, very glad I did those things, because now I can enjoy them. I'm a good golfer. I'm a pretty good skier. But yeah, love getting up there, man. I love getting up there just kind of in the peace and quiet and detaching a little bit, trying to get off the phone as much as possible, although I'll still be probably all over it just because of the content. Listen, it's going to be a big, big content week next week and the following, as we continue to get ready for the baseball season. We're going to continue with team previews, obviously. We've got another one dropping today, Tennessee, later this afternoon. Next week, we're launching Glue Guys. I'm also going to get into my ballpark rankings and head coach rankings for SEC baseball, which are always very, very, very highly contentious pieces of content. Thursday on Glue Guys, we're going to drop our Omaha 8. The following Monday, we're going to drop our predicted order of finish. I'll drop my first power ranking. So it's going to be a very, very, very fun next week and a half, 2 weeks or so before we get to opening day. Again, exactly 14 days away from opening day. DW, howdy, what's going on? Howdy, DW. Appreciate you tuning in. Spur your enthusiasm. So I don't care if we win by 50. Fire Lamont Paris. Yeah, I think folks are but spur your enthusiasm. Is it not just like a vicious cycle? Is it not? I'm telling you, if you look at all of the athletic departments in the SEC, all of them. I don't think there is a university whose state of their men's athletics are in a worse position than South Carolina. Now, you got a new athletic director in Jeremiah Donati. What an opportunity for him to make big moves and fire coaches and appoint new coaches and shuffle some things and put his foot down and say, hey, this is not going to be accepted. But what a just abysmal place to be in. Basketball is horrendous, terrible, right? Last 2 years have been a nightmare. Football is coming off one of the most disappointing seasons in recent memory. You were expected, or at least you thought you could make the college football playoff. Not only do you not do that, but you go 4-8, and you feel like you're kind of lost in the wilderness going into the 2026 season. Not a lot of reasons for confidence that you're going to turn this thing around and get back to the promised land. And then baseball, how the mighty have fallen. I mean, you have gone from back-to-back national titles, going to 3 straight, to you had a historically bad season a year ago, and you just lost your ace for the 2026 season on a team that already you feel like was fighting an uphill battle to turn it around and overachieve and let's just even say make the postseason. There's just not a whole lot to hang your hat on and be optimistic about. I don't think there's anyone in the SEC whose state of their men's athletics programs are in a worse position than the University of South Carolina. Again, it's a great opportunity for Jeremiah Donati, the new athletic director, but my God, I mean, it is truly like, it's not an over-exaggeration to talk about how bleak it is. It just is what it is. It's abysmal. It's flat out abysmal. So I don't know what changes or what has to happen. Ray Tanner, I mean, for all he did on the diamond, boy, he put South Carolina in a really, really difficult spot. My guy, John Rice, content bleeding out of the eyeballs. Always is, my friend. Always is. I mean, listen, John Rice has been here for a long time. When has it ever not been bleeding out of the eyeballs? When is it ever not? Guys, as we keep it moving here, and again, guys, continue to leave us your questions, your comments. I want y'all to be part of this show. If you want to take this show any sort of way, leave us a question, a comment, YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, or you can shoot us a text, 629-777-5759. Once again, 629-777-5759. By the way, John, I should mention, you'll know what I'm talking about. Funny enough, I was on this show Tuesday. Rebecca commented. I was like, wow. A blast from the past, no doubt. All right, I want to talk about this really quickly because there was a stir on social media, and it was really entertaining, to be honest with you, because it's wild to see how many people just are oblivious or naive or what have you. But The Athletic has posted a position to be a Braves beat writer, Atlanta Braves beat writer, Major League Baseball. The job has been posted, $67,000 to $80,000 per year salary. Okay. These are the requirements. Again, The Athletic's looking for an energetic, motivated reporter to cover the Atlanta Braves who understands that reporting is the foundation, everything we do. Keeping the audience informed. Role is located in the Atlanta, Georgia metro area. Again, Atlanta Braves beat reporter. You're going to be on the road covering the Braves, at every home game covering the Braves, what have you. Requirements, 2+ years of relevant experience at a media company, knowledge of Major League Baseball, knowledge of the journalistic process, whatever. $67,000 to $80,000 salary, compensation. The reaction to this has been so entertaining to me because there are people scoffing at the salary and how, oh my God, like you can't live off of less than $100K. You got to go to every game, whatever. I don't think people really understand how bleak the outlook is in the media game if you go the traditional route. That's why I didn't go that route, right? I didn't want to go to J school and get out of journalism school and move to Tupelo, Mississippi. No disrespect to Tupelo, but move to some, whatever town and be covering middle school girls volleyball for 5 years until I got my break to cover the high school basketball team. And then 5 more years before I got my break to be on the high school football beat. And then 5 more years before I got my break to finally be on the college football beat before a G5 team. Like, it's such a pay your dues industry. So I saw that and was like, hey, I love sports, but I also love business, and I want to be an entrepreneur. I knew I didn't want to work for someone. I'm like, hey, let me take this thing and go do my own thing with it. Let me just see what happens. Let me try my hand. I think I can build something on my own. But I also have, and this is something I think maybe it's a misconception from some folks, not everyone, but a misconception from folks. I have a lot of respect for what the traditional media does. I think traditional media and new media can coexist. There's no reason they can't. And so to see people freaking out over that job, heck, I sent that position to a friend of mine. I said, I think this would be a great opportunity for you. Listen, I think if you want to get into baseball, and if you are not working in media, first off, I'll say this too. Is 80 grand a ton of money? No. But for the people saying you can't live off of 80 grand, that's a you problem, bro. Like, if you really want it, you can live off of 80 grand. You know how many years I was doing business until I made 80 grand? It took me 2.5 years to go full time. My first full year as an entrepreneur was 2020, COVID. I lived off of scraps at that point. Didn't go anywhere, didn't do much of anything. 2021, I finally started to really break through. I didn't make 80 grand in 2021. 2022, I made 80 grand. I can confidently, comfortably say I made 80 plus grand. I made more than 80 grand in 2022. But it took me 5 years from start to get to making 80 grand. And I made it. I wasn't making 80 grand, but so like, it's just crazy to me that people see people say that. And then for people to like belittle the opportunity. Like, it ain't for everybody, but like, dude, if you're trying to get your foot in the door, Major League Baseball, you're going to be in the clubhouse, all the people you're going to be around. If you're trying to get your foot in the door in the baseball space or the media space, like, I think it's a great opportunity. It was just, I think there's so many people that don't really understand what it's like in the media world, like, I just, and listen, if you don't like it, go do your own thing. Cool. But here's the reality. You don't have to pay top dollar. And this is what these companies all know. You don't have to pay top dollar when you are offering a position that is highly desirable. Not to everyone, but bro, traveling around and covering the Atlanta Braves and just watching baseball every day for a lot of people and getting paid to do it. You going to give me 80 grand to just go watch 162 games of baseball? Yeah, that don't sound like a bad gig. Especially if I'm in a different position, but if I was somebody that was like just trying to get a break or break through or, trying to whatever, bro, that sounds like a dream job. I couldn't believe. Like, bro, are people unaware with unpaid internships? You'd think people, like, I can't imagine how people would react to unpaid internships. I just, again, I see people, I'm getting backlash on my own tweet about it, but, and, people are saying, oh, that's not an entry level job. That's a veteran job. Like, if you don't want it, don't apply for it. Ain't nobody holding a gun to your head. You ain't got to apply for that job. But I mean, listen, here's the reality. You're never going to make as much as you will if you're working for yourself. So again, if you don't like it, start your own thing. Now, I'm not saying that there isn't, because I know some people that are in the workforce. I'm not saying there isn't, I don't think it's a great thing when companies are like, hey, this is an entry level position, but requires 3+ years of experience. I said it before, though. The beautiful thing about, what the world we live in is you can create your own experience. You can legitimately create your own experience through content. So, it's a catch-22. I think I'm using that phrase correctly. But yeah, I mean, listen, dude. Listen, I'm right there with you, Sam, man. He says that's why I decided to pivot from working in sports to working in tech. I mean, Sam, man, that's why I went the route I did. Funny story, by the way. I mean, not that anybody asked, but if you're just curious about the route, dude, I didn't even get a degree. I didn't finish my degree. I went to college for 5 years and I have no degree. Long story short, went to school, majored in something I didn't want to major in, then changed majors, and I transferred, which is a good way to just be in school forever, and was about to go back and finish. And after sports, I was not a good student. I had no motivation at all to go to class, to be a good student at all. And summer of 2015, I had a buddy of mine who's like, hey, man, I'm living in Charlotte. Would you ever consider moving to Charlotte for a sales job? And in my mind, when sports ended, my mind shifted from thinking about sports to thinking about business, thinking about money. And I just equated city, money. That's where I need to go. I wanted to go anywhere but back to class. So I was gone. Did not get my degree. Most people have no idea, but here's the reality, guys. You get to a point in life where nobody cares. I mean, nobody cares. I mean, I've thought about it like, man, would it be cool to go back, get the degree? My mom would probably really like it, but it's like, it literally means nothing. Nothing for me now, certainly. Nothing. Now if you are in an area where you need the certifications to move up, or you need the certifications to even have an opportunity like a lawyer, a doctor, or whatever, totally get it. I'm not demeaning the value of education. That's great. Like, go get your degree. It's awesome. Like, I'm just a everything happens for a reason guy. I genuinely believe the universe has a plan for us all. That's how I'm wired. Again, I believe everything happens for a reason. So, like, for example, had I started in communications, journalism, whatever, I have no doubts I would have gotten my degree in 4 years, because I would have, it came naturally to me. Like, I was always really good at like BSing a paper. I could write a paper last minute and get a B+, because I could I'm just good with words, putting word to paper, putting words to microphone now, obviously. I was just good with that. So, that was something where I probably would have finished in 5 years, got my degree. But hey, had that happened, maybe I wouldn't. I probably certainly wouldn't have moved to the city and had the urge to be an entrepreneur. And like, everything happens for a reason. I may have gotten my degree and then just kind of went down the normal progression, normal path. And who knows how that would have changed my path. So I'm grateful for it all, man. I'm grateful how it happened, but it is kind of a funny side note. Like, I don't have a degree at all. But again, nobody asked. Like, nobody cares. I think most people are surprised to hear that when they're like, damn, you seem like someone who's educated, who has a degree, who knows what they're talking about. But everybody's got their own journey, man. Certainly there's not only one way to go. There's not one way to go. There's not one way to be. There's not only one path, and success is not one path in the slightest, man. Everybody's journey is different. That's why it's cool to hear people's stories about how they got to where they're going, but also it's like, take it with a grain of salt, because your journey is going to be completely different. There'll be the only thing that's similar in everyone's journey is, number one, it wasn't an overnight success story. Every overnight success story took years to accomplish. And number two, you have to deal with adversity. You have to go through, you have to go through adversity. Just flat out. You have to. So it's inevitable. It's inevitable. This game is made to weed you out. Like many other things. I mean, it's but it's made like the media game. And I see my guy Tide Talk Live, by the way, in the comments. I appreciate you. He says, so much respect for you, Chris, on betting on yourself. I appreciate it, man. Thank you. Thank you. I really do appreciate that. I appreciate that. It's and obviously if you've started any kind of entity you have yourself, you bet on yourself as well. So congratulations to you. Just starting is an accomplishment worth celebrating. One of my favorite things I like to say and say to others, advice, remind myself of, though, is just start. Just start. Just start and get it and embrace the suck. Embrace the suck and figure it out. So many people want to wait until that thing is perfect. They want to wait until, I got to wait till it's perfect. Guys, I'm on version like 10,000 of my business. There's actually some people in this chat right now that have seen my business years ago, and they can tell you firsthand the improvements and the enhancements that have happened with business. For example, I used to make all my own graphics. Guys, some of our graphics used to look like shit, like terrible, dude. Like the shows we did, me on a podcast wasn't great. I was always genuinely authentic and myself but like I've gotten better is the point I'm making. It all gets better, but you have to suck first. You just have to suck first, because doing a podcast, doing a show, like nobody comes out the womb. I mean, some people are more outgoing than others. And I mean, I'm not saying having skill is not important, but like, you don't just wake up and you're like, man, I'm elite at this thing. There's a reason the 10,000 hour rule, 10,000 iterations, there's a reason that exists. There's a reason that exists. So you have to put in those 10,000 hours, those 10,000 iterations, guys. I mean, I can't even, I wish I had like a tally of how many hours I've spent behind a mic and behind a camera, because it's an ungodly amount. It's an ungodly amount of hours. It really is. I mean, I'm thinking, I don't even know. I don't even know. Tens of thousands of hours. I'm trying to think about 100,000 hours, probably. I don't know. I've done well over 1,000 episodes. I mean, heck, I've done thousands of episodes of shows. That's the only way to get better at it, though. It's the only way. You got to grind, man. You got to grind. You got to put the work in. There's no substitute for it. There's no substitute for it, man. So, yeah. Throwback to old Tom. Yeah. What a journey. I mean, I've really thought this to myself before, and I don't know if anybody would read it. I don't know if anybody would care. But I've thought about how cool it would be. I think there's a lot of valuable insight I could share from my journey. I've thought about like writing a book would be, and I don't know. I don't know how many people would realistically be interested in that, or creating some sort of documentary or something. Because I could probably create like a 10-part docuseries on it. And now's not the time. But I think there will come in, maybe like 10 years from now. Like, I think writing a book would be really, really cool, because we're going to continue to grow, guys. We're going to continue to ascend. I have no doubt in my mind that, I don't know if it's a year from now, 5 years from now, 10 years from now, Chris Phillips, SEC Unfiltered, if it's still even that at that point, we're going to continue to ascend to be one of the biggest factors in this game. I have no doubts about it. I really don't. So, like, there's going to come a moment where, like, I think that something like that would make sense. Something like that will make sense, because God, it's just, I mean, what a journey. It's just, what a journey. Sometimes when I like really sit down and reflect and you think back, when you really think back, man, it's just wild. The twists, the turns, the adversity you have to go through, the ups and downs that inevitably will find you. It's wild, man. It's absolutely wild. So it's absolutely wild. William T says, can't wait for Bama, Tennessee. It's nothing like that game, especially in Knoxville. Yeah. Yeah, that'll be a fun one. That's always a good game. That's always a good game. Guys, I did want to speak on this. I was watching the golf earlier. Brooks Koepka, that group, they put on the feature group, didn't play well yesterday, but dude, I speak for everyone out there. I don't care how good you are at golf. I don't care how bad you are at golf. I'm addicted to golf. Like, I'm straight up addicted to golf. And the moment that you purely strike a golf ball, like I'm talking catch it pure, that feeling, you will become addicted to that feeling. Just over and over and over. And all it takes is one. Like, it's that shot that keeps you coming back. Bro, I'm telling you, when you pure one, you will become addicted to the game of golf. I'm addicted to the game of golf. Like, it is, there's no better feeling. There's no better feeling. It is a euphoric, it is a godlike feeling, dare I say, where it's like, I have control over this little inanimate object. I have control over this thing, making it do as I wish. Like, there's no better feeling. There's just, it's hard to describe, man. Hard to explain. But the moment you pure a golf shot, you'll become addicted to golf. It's one of the reasons I'm addicted to golf. I love it. I genuinely love it. I will tell you, though, one of the most humbling experiences, and I'm speaking from experience. You take a girl to a mini golf course, putt course, whatever. And I don't know about y'all. I'm not I'll let you beat me kind of, like, I don't believe in that bullshit at all. Like, if I take you out on a date, or if I take you to a mini golf course, or I take you to the range, or we go play, one of these game places, or like arcade, I'm like, I am trying to crush you, not beat you. I'm trying to crush you. I am making my point. I have supremacy here. I am the alpha, right? No more humbling feeling than taking a chick to a putt course, mini golf course, whatever, and her whooping your ass. It will make you want to curl up in a corner in the fetal position and have you questioning if you should ever play again. Like, and that happens. It happened to me. It's happened to me. There is no more humbling feeling in this world. Really, truly. And it's so funny because a girl will tell you, yeah, I'm like accidentally good at golf. And you're like, okay, like, I know how hard golf is. You're not just accidentally good at that. And they really will be. And I don't get it. They will accidentally be good. I don't understand it. I can't compute it. I can't fathom it, but they will accidentally be good. So I don't know. I think it's because it's not real golf. And so, like, when you get a real golfer out there, it's like you shouldn't play it like it's real golf. But anyways, yeah, it's a humbling feeling. I've been there. I've been there firsthand. William T says, I'd love to go golfing with Hugh Freeze. It would be a dream. Yeah, if you could, what is that? That's always a really fun conversation, William T. What is the dream foursome? What is your dream foursome? I think I'm going to say this. What's your dream foursome, dead or alive? So really opens up who you can play golf with here. My dream foursome, Babe Ruth, I'm going to go Babe Ruth, Michael Jordan, Tiger Woods, and Jesus Christ. Can I play golf with Jesus Christ? Listen, he was a person. I've never heard anybody put Jesus Christ in their foursome. I'm going Jesus Christ. Yeah. Babe Ruth, Michael Jordan, Tiger Woods, and Jesus Christ. I want to play golf with Jesus Christ. I don't think that's an outrageous, dead or alive, I don't think that's an outrageous ask. Jesus Christ was a man. I think he does count in this conversation. I think that he does count in this conversation. Tell me if I'm wrong. Oh, Jesus would light it up. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I mean, he, yeah. Sandman says Dua Lipa, Hillary Duff, and Salma Hayek. Hey, Sandman, that's a good list. I ain't gonna lie to you. I listen. I'm not gonna play golf worth a damn, but I would also throw Tate McRae in there. Honestly, I'll throw Tate McRae somewhere in there. William T says Michael Jordan, Hugh Freeze, Jack Nicklaus, and Arnold Palmer. Bro, you're gonna have a hell of a day. You're gonna have a hell of a day. Those guys are actually gonna golf their ball. If I had to go another one, I'd probably go Chipper Jones. Chipper Jones was like the Derek Jeter of the South growing up. Chipper Jones would be a fun one. Yeah. My guy Sandman said he misunderstood the question. Misunderstood the question. Anybody got any big weekend plans? Kind of a lighter show today from me. I do apologize. I was sitting here thinking, I was like, dude, what are the topics today? I don't, it doesn't it feel like it feels like a really slow time right now in the sports world. Like if you're not into college basketball, it is a pretty slow time in the sports world. And I'll say this, guys. We have our basketball show, the Layup Line. Shout out to my guys, Alex Dotrieve and Brian Gregori. I really appreciate them doing that, because anybody who's followed me for any extended period of time, I think knows and understands that what I'm about to say is not a surprise. I am not a basketball guy. Like, I could honestly not watch basketball till the SEC tournament and be totally content. And I got to be honest, like that to me, I think that's when people start caring about basketball. Like, I don't think, especially in the SEC, you've got basketball fans. Don't get me wrong. But this is why I asked the question, what's the more popular sport, basketball or baseball? Because I just like, there's interest. Don't get me wrong, but it's like, I don't know, man. Like, I don't think people really care till we get to the postseason. Like, it's just not. And I know there's some that are like that with baseball too. And listen, even the interest in baseball, the tick up obviously goes up when we get to the postseason, right? It significantly ticks up when we get to the postseason. But I don't know, man. Basketball in the SEC is just interesting. Like, I think baseball, it's the SEC so good that everybody cares the entire season. Basketball, especially this season, what do we have? 4 ranked teams. So, my guy Cam has found his way to the chat. Cam, you got to update your profile pic, my guy. Looking like from 2016 or something. Midtown City Boy. The City Boys unite. City Boys assemble. City Boys assemble. Sandman, what's your opinion on the best helmets and unis in college football? I'll tell you this, Sandman. Great topic for Tuesday. That's one I don't want to rush through, because I think that is a really, really fun offseason topic. Heck, I might do that actually mark it down. I will do that for baseball. I want to do baseball. Who has the best uniforms in the SEC, top to bottom, in baseball? That one's debatable too. But football, yeah, that one's fun for football also. Sandman, I promise you, if there's one thing I love talking about, it's unis. I love talking about unis. I could spend all day talking about unis. I love it. I love it. It's very fun. William T says Ole Miss and LSU got the best helmets. Did you forget about the Florida Gators? Did you forget about Texas? Texas has got a hell of a helmet. I like Texas's helmet. I got all these mini helmets over here. I think that, to me, LSU and Florida are two of the very best. Ole Miss, their powder blues, phenomenal. Texas has got an iconic. I think OU's got an iconic helmet. I think Tennessee's got an iconic helmet. I kind of like Vandy's new helmet. I like Arkansas's helmet. There's only one Razorback. There's a lot of good ones. Some people will say Alabama's helmet should be high because of the traditional. People love the traditional. It is like do you like tradition more or do you like some new school more? Because if you love tradition, how about Georgia's helmet, the Georgia G? Iconic. I'm just looking at the helmets, like I said. If you like new school, like Mizzou's got hella good helmets. I'll tell you what some of the worst helmets are. Y'all remember the Vandy helmets that had the chain going down? Those were bad, dude. Those were just bad. Those were bad. The South Carolina helmets with the tail feathers on them, good God, burn those into oblivion. I know that's a hot topic. Some people love them. Burn those into oblivion. The garnet helmets that Muschamp rolled out there with no circle on it, just throw those in the garbage. There's been some bad unis. Remember the Power Rangers unis that Georgia wore? Terrible uniforms. The gator skin Florida unis, awful. Absolutely awful. Sandman says, Texas, best road uniform. I'll tell you this, Sandman. I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm saying that I think anybody who does Stormtrooper all white, like when you can do icy whites, you automatically get into that conversation of having best unis. I will say Texas is one of the best, though. If not the best. I promise you, we will do a ranking of uniforms on this show. I don't want to rush through it right now, but count on that for Tuesday. That will happen. That will happen. We will make that happen. I can assure you. We'll make that happen. So Cam Irvine says, Ole Miss, look at that. He changed the picture that fast. Ole Miss powder blue and Vandy striped baseball uniforms. Yeah, those are fire. Yeah. So the Vandy stripes are one you either love or hate. The black uniforms with the gold piping. You either love or hate those. They look like softball unis to me. I don't hate them, but I think it's because I'm used to them. So, like I said, next week, we will go through this. We will do uniform power rankings. I promise you. Thank you for the suggestion. I can't wait to see people freak out about the stadium power rankings and the head coach power rankings. I'm excited for that. People freak out over that stuff. People freak out. An exciting week next week, guys. Really, really exciting. We've already started obviously on the baseball content this week, but we are really diving head first in the baseball content. Also, got a great conversation. I would assume all of you know who this guy is. Got a great conversation with our guy, Kyle Peterson. That's going to drop on Monday. I'm so stoked for it. I am so stoked for this conversation. I mean, KP is one of the best in the business. We had about a 40-minute conversation about the SEC, of course, state of college baseball, Omaha, everything in between. Like, it is a must listen if you love college baseball. Certainly if you love SEC baseball. KP is one of the best in the business. He is one of the figureheads of college baseball, really, truly. So excited for that. Yeah, we're going to have ourselves a time this weekend. That's about it. Thankfully, I don't think we have another snowstorm in the mix. Guys. This past week was weird, man. This past week was kind of weird. Just first half of the week felt like it really didn't happen. I had a lot of time to get in on content and everything, but how about this? We got a 30% chance of flurries and snow showers in Nashville today. Tomorrow in Nashville, the high is 24 degrees. I'm about over this fucking shit. High of 32 on Sunday. That's what I'm saying. Apparently, it's snowing a little bit outside right now. We just can't get away from it. So with that being said, the best thing we can do is grab ourselves a cold beverage and have ourselves a weekend. That's how we deal with things here in Nashville. Get yourself a libation, folks. Take a load off. Have yourself some fun this weekend. and we'll do it all together. So keep the folks in Nashville in your thoughts and your prayers. There's a lot of folks still without power. If you can believe that, I think it's just under 100,000. But I mean, still, man, you think about how long people have gone without power. So prayers to the folks here in Nashville. Prayers to everybody affected. Prayers to folks in Oxford, Mississippi, by the way. Oxford got crushed. I mean, Oxford got crushed by the ice storm. Prayers to those folks. I know it looks like a war zone down there. You know, let's all get through this together, and just warmer days ahead, thankfully. Warmer days ahead. So going to go ahead and put a pin in it, guys. Really appreciate you all tuning in. We're going to get into the weekend here. Make sure, as always, like I mentioned, you like, subscribe, turn on notifications. Check us out via podcast. Wherever you get your podcast, stay tuned. I promise you guys in the coming days, the individual podcast feed for the Chris Phillips Show and all of our other shows will be active. I'm sorry it's taken so long, but it is what it is. In the meantime, obviously, subscribe to the SEC Unfiltered podcast feed via iTunes, Spotify. Check out our website, secunfiltered.com. Check us out all across the social media platforms, and, of course, me at CPhilly19, everywhere that you get content. Can't say thank you enough, guys. Really, truly. Love that we've launched this show. Love that I have an opportunity twice a week to come to you all on Tuesdays and Fridays at 1 o'clock Central and just really ramble. I just enjoy it. I like it. It's fun to talk all the other shit that's not SEC sports and kind of just have a power hour plus a power hour to just hang out. Just hang out. Just hang out with the crew. So you can expect, by the way, we're going to have some big-time guest interviews on this show. I've got some ideas of some folks lined up that I want to get right here in studio. But in the meantime, man, we'll just keep shooting the shit, keep rocking, keep doing our thing, keep doing what we've been doing, and having a lot of fun doing it. So, again, appreciate you all tuning in, guys. Take care. Be safe. Lock in. And we'll talk to you all next week. Cheers.